Something Going On is not a kompa song. And it's so interesting that this song had so many names attached to it. And it shows you how much, like, once a song is out, you don't really have that much control on the branding. So let me tell you the story of the instrumental first of all. The name of the instrumental is Zook Beat 211, if I remember well. ZB 211. Let me check on my computer. Do a search. ZB 211. Yep, that's the one. No, that's not the one. Okay, so it's ZB 711. Let me see. Yep. All right. So the name of this instrumental is ZB 711, which means Zook Beat 711. And actually, it is a Candy Zook, which is a style that I invented, which is a mix of Zouk and Capverdian music, inspired by the likes of Manuel Lima or Philip Montero's production, plus my own hip-hop Zouk R&B genre. So this is what Candy Zook is. So it's very interesting that when this song came out, in the West Indies, everybody was calling it a Zouk R&B. Because back in 2006-7, that was the name we gave to this type of instrumentals. And everybody was like, yo, Kaysha, what's the name of these? What is the name of your genre? And I was like, no, bro, it's not a genre. It's just my version of Zouk. Nah, this, you have your own sound. It has a name. So then I was like, in this case, Candy Zook is the name. So this was a Candy Zook in my head forever. And then at a point, it blows up like crazy in Portugal, in Mozambique, in Angola, in São Tomé and Príncipe. And everybody's calling me now the king of Kizomba because of other beats of this genre, like Fiona, like Melodia from Elisio, like Deeper for Nelson Freitas. And everybody's like, yo, listen, Kaysha style, yeah. And for those who knew, it was the Candy Zook. And for the rest that didn't know, everybody was saying, this is the best Kizomba ever. And me, I was like, all right. It's the same thing as One Love. One Love to me was never a Kizomba track. One Love to me is a pop Zouk because the guitar was played in a pop folk way and the instrumental was more hip-hop Zouk. Hip-hop drums played in a Zouk way. But this became the best Kizomba song of all time. So this was 2006, 7, when Something Going On came out, right? Listen, me, I'm a businessman. So listen, if you want to call Something Going On Candy Zook, which is what it is, cool. If you want to call it a Zouk R&B, cool. It's actually Zouk mixed with R&B, why not? If you want to call it a Cabo Zouk, cool too. Now, if you want to call it a Kizomba, cool, as long as you buy it. Because me, what interests me is that you like it. And yeah, I would love it if you call it for what it is, but it's so good. Now, 2006, comes out, becomes my biggest hits, one of my biggest hits. I open all my shows with this song, all good. Now, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, 17. SOS Music, thank you so much. Thanks for being a mentor since 2005 for me. Well, bless. Until 2021, when I receive a remix of somebody who just put on SoundCloud and Instagram a version of that song with an extra solo of kompa guyad. And because Saint-Clan already did that with my track Bien plus fort que mes mots, me, I was like, perfect, a remix. Let's go. Contact the guys. Hey, listen, I want to use that remix. It's unauthorized. Now, I'm not going to authorize it, but I'm going to use it by myself. And I do my deal with them, how we're going to exchange, etc. All good. Now I release the new version of Something Going On, which is, I call it Something Going On Kompa Guyad Extended Mix. Because it's actually the same instrumental. It's still a Candy Zook. But now, on top of it, they played a Guyad solo on top of it. Does it make the song kompa? No. Does it make the song a little bit kompa? Yes. It is now a version that has a kompa part, but the instrumentation, the way the beat plays, continues to be Zouk R&B, Candy Zook. More kizomba than kompa. But okay. To me, I'm like, listen, as long as people like it, yes, I want things to be named by their name, but I also understand that, listen, if the crowd goes one way, they go one way. And it's very interesting because once we arrived in 2022, that's really when the song started blowing up in TikTok. And it blew up because of the West Indies, the Zouk community. And then in 2 years, it expanded to the kompa community in the US. And then after that, it ricocheted by becoming one of the most trending songs on TikTok. And it exploded in Brazil, thanks to girls like Jessica Barreto and others. I hope I said her name well. People who had 20 million followers in Brazil that had no idea what is kizomba, what is zouk, what is this, what is that. But because there's a track that says kompa kompa and they have a solo, they believed that the name of the song was kompa kompa in Brazil. And every time they were playing the track, they were saying kompa kompa for the Brazilians. And because there's 400 million Brazilians or 300 million Brazilians, it became so huge in Brazil that then it became huge in the US, then it became huge in Russia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, everywhere. And now all of a sudden I see a lot of comments with just Haitian flags. Yeah, this is kompa, this is our music. And me, I'm like, yes and no. Yes, there's a little bit of kompa in there. But it's actually a Candy Zook. It's actually a kizomba. It's actually a Cabo Zouk in reality. With a kompa flavor for this remix. All good. But it's so interesting where groups of people want to appropriate something. They start fighting in the comments, and me, it makes me laugh all the time. Because listen, me, I'm like, listen, just make me money. I don't care about the rest. But then you had a lot of the Haitian people going to the song, and in the comments and in every video, they were putting, yeah. No, this is kompa, yo, kompa, Haiti. And me, listen. If I can make kompa big on the map, all good. I love it. I because to me, all these genres are cousins anyway. But sometimes some people would say, not really, it's a kizomba. And some others would be like, no, it's a Zouk R&B. No, it's a Candy Zook. No, it's a kompa. And me, I was like, yeah, it's kind of everything at the same time. Because my music is actually, I never respect genres. I just go in one direction and I take a little bit of that. So maybe if you hear the way I played in that instrumental, the way I played the way I played the hi-hat, this comes from kompa, but the way I play the drums comes more from kizomba, and then the way I play the bass line comes from R&B, and then the way I play the this is Manu Lima, Afro Zouk, who's Cap Virgin. This is more Cap Virgin music, Cabo Zouk, Afro Zouk. And me, I take from everything. I'm one of those musicians that just make milkshakes. But then there's always one community that wants to take credit for my work. And listen, if you're proud, all good. But I think everybody should take credit. And it's all good. Listen, I love the fact that the Haitian community is proud of my song. I also love the fact that for 17 years, it was the Portuguese and Angolan and Mozambicans that were proud of that song. And then before that, it was the West Indies. And then it's everybody now, because the song is now global. And now everybody's calling the song a kompa. 17 years ago, everybody was calling the song a kizomba. And before that, everybody was calling it a Zouk R&B. And me, when I composed it, I called it a Candy Zook. And it's all good. But it's funny to me. Especially when I see people like having debates. Because listen, let's listen to the beat of that song. Let me play it. Kaysha, something. This is the original track, right? To make you understand. This is the original Something Going On that came out in 2006 in my album, Legendary. If you listen to the instrumental, listen to the hi-hats. So I was trying to give that live feel, but it was me playing on the keyboard. But I was trying to play the hi-hats more like in the kompa joints. But now listen to the kick and the drums. Urban Street Spot, what up? This is kizomba. Now listen to the main instrument, which is the the saw brasses that goes. This is actually, Afro Zouk, Monique Seka, Oliver Ngoma, production by Manu Lima, who's one of the best producer of all time. And then I sing in English. Now, if you listen to the version that is now approaching 30 million stream, which is the version that became big on TikTok, and it's the same beat. That's what when they say this is it's a remix, but it's the same beat. So it doesn't become a kompa because it's the same beat. But now because of that part, okay, now they played some kompa on top of it, of a kizomba, Candy Zook beat, and they made it one of the biggest kompa songs of all time. But it's actually not completely a kompa track. And I think you can say that about every song of mine. On dit quoi, it's not a coupé décalé, it's actually a mix of mapuka, coupé décalé, hip hop, and other things. Same for One Love, Question My Heart, Deeper. A lot of my tracks, I try to appropriate myself styles. That's the way I do it. I listen to something that I like, I'm a piano, kizomba, whatever, and then in the beginning I study them, and then after that I'm like, okay, let me give my take and not respect nothing, just maybe the tempo and the feel of it. But then I want to make them mine because I'm that type of creator. I like to push the envelope of anything I do. And this is why you might listen to people say that the same song of mine, if you ask in Brazil, they will say, oh, it's the best Zouk of all time. You ask in the West Indies, they will say, oh, it's the best Zouk R&B of all time. You're going to be like in Portugal, they're going to say, it's the best kizomba of all time. You're going to go to New York, they're going to say, oh, this is the best kompa of all time. And this is beautiful because in a way, if everybody can look at the mirror of your song and recognize themselves, you win the game of music because you don't serve one community. You serve a global community, and that's not something that I do strategically, but this is just the way I do music. And I believe that people should open themselves more when they do music.